Nice courtyard, though. We need a nice courtyard like this.
Weird.
But it would be, like, all, like, clothy and fabricy.
Oh, right.
And, like, the plants would be, like, Lego plants, so just plastic. Or we could lean in on the plush angle, and it's just patchworky.
Imagine making a garden. It's like it's literally just all toy stuff.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
I mean, it wouldn't be very good for the environment, but
No.
it'd be worse than having a lawn. I mean, honestly, I don't really mind lawns, but people are pretty opinionated about lawns these days.
I don't really have a strong opinion on lawns. It's like, you do you. If you like this kind of lawn, go for it. If you like that kind of lawn, go for it.
You absolute idiot. You've managed to fail at everything. Useless imbecile.
But I...
What indeed? I mean, we obviously knew who that was, like, talking to that person, and that clearly sounded like a Pete of some descriptor.
Yeah, these three are just slow sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just like, what do you mean you don't know, like, anything about this? This told me a lot of things. See, we know what's going on here. A brawl is surely brewing. I don't know, I'm just gonna, like, quote a bunch of Cuphead, because it just seems appropriate for this world. Just have, like, a mod of that game where instead of playing as, like, Cuphead and, like, Mug Guy, I don't know what the other person's name is, you play as Donald and Goofy. There you go.
Now we can take the castle from those fools, but we'll have to proceed with the utmost of care.
But only you're now just acknowledging Maleficent? We've got, like, 3 cutscenes of her. Well, I can't.
Just shrug.
Shrug. You know, it's just, sometimes, it's just that these 3 are just like, oh.
Yeah, well indeed.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Hey, hold it right there.
No way, small fry. I finally found the pipsqueak what stole my ski boat.
Yeah, it was you.
Right, me. No, it wasn't me. I'm just somebody who looks like me.
Oh, which is it?
Come on, Sora, it's really not that complicated.
Yeah, one of them has, like, HD graphics, the other one looks like a cartoon. You know, you can tell the difference.
I mean, they both look like cartoons, but you know.
Yeah, well, one looks more like a Square cartoon, the other one looks more like a Disney cartoon.
It's good description.
Very good.
Look for the Pete that looks like a square cartoon. As opposed to what? A triangle cartoon?
Yes! What would a triangle cartoon be? It's on a triangle screen and everything is triangle polygons for the animations. Actually, that'd be pretty stylized, wouldn't it?
Triangle pixels.
Big triangle pixels. You know, there's a universe somewhere out there where they did triangle pixels instead of, like, the rectangles that we used.
What are they?
That's the hotness. Watch out.
We'll deal with them. Go, take cover.
Don't mind that random anime person coming out of nowhere.
Also, like a cartoon duck.
Yes, that's it.
Goofy. Cartoon doggo. If anyone asks, you were hitting the grog too hard.
Of course, I think this probably predates animation and movies and everything.
Yes. Of by quite a long time, I imagine.
Like, isn't pirates in like the 1600s, 1800s?
Yes. Not well. Technically, the age of piracy is kind of more 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. I suppose technically still had it, but I think that was becoming less of a prominent thing, perhaps. So apparently, if we assume the region that this takes place in, presumably the Caribbean, that would be the age of piracy in the Caribbean was from the 1500s to 1830s.
It's early 1800s then, perhaps.
Yeah, it says here the period during which pirates were most successful was from the 1660s to 1730s. So we could assume maybe in that time span, but at the very latest it would have been the 1830s, which is getting into like steam power and like mechanization of things, and you probably were starting to get a little bit away from sailing ships and a little bit more closer to like, you know, boilers and such, probably. So doing some digging up of the past of Port Royal, apparently it was destroyed on June 7th, 1692 by an earthquake which had an accompanying tsunami. So this would have predated 1692.
Interesting. Because I presumed Port Royal was just a name they made up for it.
Nope, Port Royal actually existed.
In the Caribbean, I presume.
Yep, it was on Jamaica. It was, you know, plot twist, known for privateers and things like that, so yep.
You jerk.
Okay. King's
But
up.
I'm already
All right.
here. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
It's like, alright, then you got this, right, of course? Hangs up phone and just chills.
Just chill.
Just reclines in bedroom.
Next day, it's like, hey, we're going into the TV world. Cool, you do that. I'm lounging here.
It's like, what, you're not coming with us? Well, you said to stay home. That's what I'm gonna do. Ah, the nice Juness music.
And now I've got the original Julius music instead of the mod replacement.
I like the mod replacement.
Yeah, the mod music where it's got all the lyrics.
Everyday young life, Junessu. You know, just like that. I have that burned into my head because of how much we've listened to Juness in our playthrough. Like, oh my gosh.
I mean, think about it. What if we were half asleep and fell into a TV when Teddy wasn't over there? Isn't that a scary thought?
Who does that?
Like anyone would be that
Yeah,
Anyway,
seriously.
sounds like it's safe
I
for us
sleep
to
with
go
a TV in my
investigate.
room. How many times have I fallen onto a TV? Like, barely ever.
Is that suggesting not 0%?
I think
no
there was
doubt
like
that
maybe one
something's
time I
going on
maybe
in
like slipped and fell
Everyone
onto a
ready?
TV. Not literally, but like caught myself on a TV.
To tell the truth.
But that was like probably back when there was like when they were like chonky bricks. So that was like probably like I don't know. It was a long time ago. Point is I basically like never fall on TVs. Like never. So and I've lived with TV in my room for many years.
See how badly I can do it. At fighting games.
I'm bad at them, so I certainly wouldn't do good. Alright. Takiro versus Yosuke. Who will win?
Finally.
Bingo! Nice try. Just get Persona! Over here! Over here! Over here!
Are they starting to feel tired?
Just getting started! Over here! Over here!
I gotta say, a fighting game is an interesting concept for a Persona game.
Will it all be over in moments? Nora, you're just serious.
Over here! Over here! Oh, crap! Oh, crap! Just getting started!
That's the battle, excited?
Yeah.
The opponent's still standing.
Over here!
With the buttons.
Go for the kill?
Kick.
How
Don't worry, button mash is a viable strategy. Well, maybe not.
Can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody. This is a matter of life and death for you.
What are you, a cop?
Sure thing.
Yeah,
Let's get to that announcement.
that's like Dojima's thing. He's the cop here.
Waiting for a boy to approach them. And then, when a boy actually does come wandering by, we prey on them! Persona!
Whoa, that's a trap.
Trick me, that's not fair.
Maybe this is part of why Takahiro has dated Yukiko. She could just be like, I'm just gonna like use my own charm against you, then haha, trap. I don't know. We can make up all kinds of like wacky, fun backstory stuff. I don't know.
It's time you explained yourself, Teddy. Why are you doing this? And who is that girl? Did you call her into the TV? I'm very upset with you right now.
Understandable, really.
The murder in your eyes is verifying.
Oh, that's no.
No, that's not how puns work with that. Well, I guess it does, but...
What did I do? You're jealous. You've turned green with envy because I'm all lovey-dovey with Miss President.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Ah! Yuki-chan's seriousness gauge just exploded!
It was your fault!
But I'm Miss President's knight! I can't lose! Kintoki Doki!
Oh yes, you can. Because you're not the main character in this playthrough.
A blossoming friendship between two cuties! This is great! I'm so touched!
Lisa.
In honor of the occasion, I request that Miss President try to score with me!
Score?
Please no.
Teddy, if you continue mentioning that, I'm going to get angry again.
Me too. I would be like, Teddy, you best not.
That joke's a year
So help
old
me.
now. How many times are you gonna keep making it?
Seriously, right? Oh my
Shush.
gosh, Teddy,
What's going on,
please.
Ted? Whoa, hey!
Just-
You can...
I feel like an entire playthrough of that would just be like, Teddy, please.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll play today.
This is very, like, 1950s diner. Is this just literally a Fallout meets fun?
It's what I was saying. That's why I keep feeling like this is very Fallouty.
You're showing me all the stuff that's like, this is literally a 50s style diner, right down to like the stools and the aesthetic and everything. This just screams 1950s diner. The one thing this place is missing, the checker floor. If they had the checker floor with the white and the black, this would be so painfully 50s. It would be dangerous. So yeah, you're not kidding. This is just Fallout. This is Final Fallout. This is what this is. I'm calling it. This is what this game is now. Final Fallout. All we need to do is give like your main character there like a pompadour, and he would be just like a greaser. Then again, like the guy is almost like biker gang material with how he looks. So.
That still isn't good enough. Not with that attitude, it isn't.
They just literally did cross/slash there.
Yeah.
One time.
Sure thing.
That's just what that was.
Nice work.
Put it in the books. It's history.
I got +A+ for finesse and offense, despite feeling like I was absolutely just
Despite
getting destroyed.
Prompto being utterly bullied, yeah. Prompto was just bullied that entire fight.
I think I got a pebble in my shoe. Take it out. Yeah.
Are people in your shoes?
Prompto, I think that's the least of your problems right now. I'd be more concerned with the fact that you technically died twice.
Nothing tastes better than what we make together at the Crow's Nest. Man, that smells good.
See, now this place, remember that checker floor I was talking about? This is the most like 50s diner you can possibly achieve. This is peak 50s diner. You can't get more than this. You've already, this is the final form. I think we even have places like this in Canada too, just because of our adjacency to America, so a lot of culture bleeds over. Roleplay as your GPS. At next turn, go right. I think that's the road you need to take. Well, maybe. That dusty road there? Dusty dirt road.
What is that for? Oh, hello, let's not do that.
That, doesn't seem like something you want to fight, I think.
I want to be on that road. How do I do that?
Yeah. Okay, so what I propose then is that we
Look at
continue... I guess we'll just walk all the way over there. I mean, what's like 1.64 miles anyway, right? So that's not much of a... Well, I mean, it is a fair bit of walking, but...
No, not that. I want to mark the point.
Alright, let's waypoint. Good. Alright.
So yeah, those are the things that clearly roam the nights and probably cause destruction and mayhem, and we probably don't want to tango over that.
I...
Okay, seriously, this road looks plenty.
No way we're taking that thing on.
No turning back. Nope.
Prompto, you're right. We are absolutely not taking that on. That's why we are hecking running for our lives, so we don't die. It's dangerous to travel at night.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we've gathered that. Just remembering from the randomizer that we'd come here, find all the stuff around, hope it's good, and then go somewhere else.
We just go run around and be like, okay, grab, okay, done, warp out.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how randomizers are sometimes. You jump into a place where they get rid of checks.
You just drop in and it's like, okay, is any of this useful? If yes, good. If no, oh well, you tried, and move on. Either way. It's like a flowchart that really just converges into, did you loot all the things? Yes, good, leave. You basically always want to be looting. If you're in a place where you've looted, move elsewhere to a place you can loot, and then once you're done looting there, you move elsewhere to a place you can loot, and then you loot there, and then repeat. It's just that, basically.
Well, randomizers are really are just treasure hunts. Running around trying to find things as quickly as possible. If you like speedrunning the randomizer, it's entirely down to being a treasure hunt race, and you're trying to like find all the important things as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
If you think you're good enough to like beat the final boss of like the minimal equipment you've got, which we've experienced, not well, but still. What people? What action?
Yeah, it's like there's always something going on. All this on the backdrop of empty, barren streets. Like,
oh, Sora, what are you doing?
Yeah, what is that? Like, pose and face. Also, Donald looks like so done with things. Goofy's looking at like Sora like, is your arms supposed to bend like this?
I guess it's gonna behave now, because it's gone to bed.
Everyone in the area has like gone to bed, so you have entire like monopoly on the whatever bare bones internet that the 8 or more houses in the area has access to. So it's like, it's kind of all yours, because I imagine like 90% of those people are not awake right now.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it feels.
So it feels fine now at 30 frames. It's entirely fine. You come in just fine too, so it's great. Having 30 frames after going with 5 frames is like, wow. Things are so smooth. It's great. It's beautiful. Imagine at 60 frames, it'd feel mind-blowing at this point. I wouldn't try 60 frames though. I think that might actually make things a little grumpy. Best not to push our luck. I'll take 30. 30 is serviceable. That's like the standard of console gaming for like the longest time ever anyway. It was like 30.
Yeah, if you're in America.
If you're in America, which you know, we get the same things as America does, so it was our standard.
Or in Japan too.
Japan.
Or PAL, we got 625, which made things a bit funky sometimes. It was to do with the actual mains voltage, which affected how TVs were broadcasted, which in turn affected how they standardized video games.
Yeah.
It's something to do like, apparently PAL, or not PAL itself, but the voltage standard in the EU, in Australia and New Zealand is better for everything but TV broadcast. Like the actual voltage is supposed to be better for us. But
interesting.
What ends up happening is it means that we had 25 FPS for broadcast TV and video games. It's something weird like that. I like learned it in my like graphics and broadcast courses at college, university. But yeah, basically, in the end, it meant that when they made video games, I mentioned this before, how, like, some video games had desync with the audio and visual because the animations were made for 30 FPS and the sounds were made for 30 FPS, but then they made them not 30 FPS when they were 25 FPS, so yeah, desync.
Yeah, it had to do with the amount of lines that you guys got. NTSC, let's see, did 525 lines, PAL did 625 lines, apparently. I find this kind of stuff fascinating, too. Like, if I had learned any of this in school, nothing stuck for me in school. I don't know. School stuff just did not click for me a lot of times. It didn't help it was boring as fluff, too. It was just like, oh, I don't care. I just want to, like, sleep or do anything. Just, no. I like learning. I just don't like the way it was trying to make me learn. Like getting up at early AM when I'm dead and non-functional. It's just... I don't learn like that. I learn when I can wake up at like 3 in the afternoon. Also, if you want to complicate things even more, there's also CCAM.
Oh yeah, I think there's one more. Where is it? Is it like...
CCAM is...
like Germany?
France. France, for some reason, out of all of Europe for the most part, and also, I think that looks like Belarus, Russia, Ukraine. No, not Ukraine, actually. They're actually PAL. Okay, interesting. I think that's probably Kazakhstan. A lot of African countries use it, and a lot of other African countries use PAL. Let's see, does it have a list of all the countries for me? So I can just read them off. So, countries and territories that use CCAM. Benin, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Central African Republic, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Gabon, Guinea, Ivory Coast, yeah, I was right, Kazakhstan, Madagascar, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Rwanda, Senegal, Syria, Tajikistan, Togo, and Turkmenistan.
So just a really weird collection of random countries.
Kind of really is. Let me see, like, what's special about CCAM? Oh, that's... It was used in France. So, it has a specific, like, French name. Sequentiel de couleur de mémoire.
Yes, they do.
Color sequential with memory. That sounds about right.
Actually, are those countries like French colonies?
Great question. You know what? Would not surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, it would explain it if it is, if they are.
So, development of CCAM predates PAL and began in 1956 by a team led by Henri de France, working at Compagnie Française de Télévision. Later bought by Thomson, now Technicolor. NTSC was considered undesirable in Europe because of its tint problem requiring an additional control, which CCAM and PAL was solved. Some have argued that the primary motivation for the development of CCAM in France was to protect French television equipment manufacturers. However, incompatibility had started with the earlier unusual decision to adopt positive video modulation for 819-line French broadcast signals. Only the UK's... Oh, okay, that's like on the side. Okay. Nonetheless, CCAM was partly developed for reasons of national pride. Oh, that makes sense. Henri de France's personal charisma and ambition may have been a contributing factor, so... PAL was developed by Telefunken, by a German company, and in the post-war de Gaulle era. Oh, there really is a specific version of CCAM used by France's overseas possessions, as well as African countries that were once ruled by France. So it's probably those ones that were once ruled by France. Yeah. So CCAM is just France's own proprietary
French colonies,
TV stuff. Yep. French colonies.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Of course, everything's standardized to digital now, so
yeah,
it's moot by this point, thankfully. So have you ever thought about how Simba looks like he's got anime here in his mane?
Kinda does, yeah.
Also, I find it funny that, like, Peter's like, oh, they're all yours. Imagine if, like, Scar and the Hyenas actually caught Sora and Ko and actually, you know, killed them and ate them, and Peter would be like, oh Jesus, oh, this is a bit, that was a bit much, don't you think? Just seeing their shredded, gory bodies strewn across the landscape.
Yeah, it's like, hey, there's like certain lines you shouldn't cross. Hey, you just cross those.
It's like, I know I wanted them dealt with, but not like this.
I could totally see that. It's just like, hey, even I have standards. This is not the standards I've set. Don't just leave a gory mess everywhere.
The standards are capture him and make him into a heartless, not eat him alive. We're hungry, okay? That's just how things go.
You are right, though. He has like a really pretty mane. It's like anime-esque in how it looks.
It was that way in the movie as well. It just kind of seems more obvious in the context of a JRPG.
It does. It feels like it's much more, like, yeah, exactly, obvious. I wouldn't say more pronounced, it's just, it draws more attention to it due to the thematics of the setting.
What happened to you?
Help, Simba! Help!
The best thing happened. Polymorph.
Pumbaa!
Yeah, the best thing. I'm Eminal now.
Aminal.
Eminal.
I like being minimal.
Minimal.
Minimal animal. Animal minimal. No, not minimal animal. We want maximum animal.
Maximal.
Maximal animal. Maximal minimal. There you go. Maximum.
Yeah. Just slurring the word even more.
Until it's like, maybe shares one letter similar with its original incarnation.
It gets in the know.
Because
It would be hilarious if I could actually activate drive form. And just start.
you enter Valor and you just have 2 bats. It's like, hey, that's not fair. How come you're allowed to have 2 bats? Oh my gosh, heck,
Just bullying a child.
you really are just bullying a child. Oh my gosh. Alright, one more. This should be the final one. 3 more.
Why do you see roster like this? It'd be rather easy, but you know, it'd be funny.
It would be funny. All super extra like content bosses are struggle fights.
Just imagining Lingering Will just railing into you with the whip weapon and then grabbing the balls.
Oh, that would be evil. 2 more.
Or Sephiroth.
Sephiroth. Oh man. That as a struggle fight would be something, to say the least. Well, if we can find Sephiroth in a random Coliseum, who's to say we can't see him in a struggle fight?
Sephiroth was just a extra long phone bet.
Oh my gosh, exactly. This should be the last one. That would be funny. Extra long phone bet.
Oh, Minami-san. I didn't know you lived so close.
Did you really need to come out?
You're Yakushiti-san, our classmate? Wait, no way. Are you two? Do you need something from him?
It's not that. It's not what it looks like.
It's not what it looks like.
Oh my gosh, I predicted that line. Wow. Okay, well that...
Come in. Are you there?
I don't answer.
I think it'd be wise not to.
I know you can hear me, Sekigahara.
Nah.
Nope. Not here. La la la, can't hear you.
Now pick up. I'm not your enemy.
Doubt.
Yeah, down. Down indeed.
I know you can hear me, Sekigahara.
But thou must indeed.
Listen, it's not
Don't trust anyone, not even yourself. What if this is like a double negative?
This ID card.
What if him telling you not to trust anyone is in itself distrustful? In which case you shouldn't trust the fact that you can't trust anyone from someone you can't trust. Therefore you have to trust them.
Yeah.
It's like, gets very complicated. I don't know.
Student knows something
If
I
we
don't.
shouldn't trust that he tells us not to trust anyone, that means we have to trust him, but that means we have to trust that he's telling us not to trust anyone.
Exactly. It gets very deep and complicated, doesn't it? Because it's like, it's one of those weird moments where it's like, being told not to trust what you hear from someone that you're supposedly not supposed to trust is in itself pretty distrustful. So it's like, do I trust them then? Is that the move to make that's ultimately the most unexpected but the most correct, is to trust what you've been told not to trust?
Pardon?
I'm layering things unnecessarily too deep. It's basically what you said earlier.
I completely lost track of that entirely.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to trust him on the premise that we've been told not to trust anyone, and that in itself is distrustful.
To the school.
So we have to trust him. Right? That made sense, right?